Welcome to OptinexTech. In today's tutorial, we'll be creating a fully customizable and dynamic tooltip component using React. A tooltip is a small, interactive text box that appears when a user hovers over, focuses on, or clicks an element, providing additional information or context about that element without cluttering the interface. Let's dive in and start coding. We have already created React project. In that, first create tooltip folder inside components folder. Inside that, create two files index.jsx for component logic and tooltip.css for custom styling. Moving to index.jsx, we start by importing the useState hook, which will manage the visibility of the tooltip. We also import the custom CSS for styling. The component takes several props like content, position, background color, font size, padding, and border radius. We provide default values for each prop to make the component flexible and customizable. Then, we create a state variable, visible, that will handle whether the tooltip is shown or hidden. The setVisible function will toggle the tooltip visibility when the user hovers over the element. Next, we define the tooltip style object, which holds all the dynamic CSS properties for the tooltip, like background color, font size, padding and border radius. These are passed through props to give US flexibility in controlling the tooltip's appearance. The component returns a div with the class tooltip wrapper. The tooltip will only be visible when the user hovers over the element, which is managed by the on-mouse enter and on-mouse leave events. Inside the tooltip wrapper, we conditionally render the tooltip box based on the visible state. The class of the tooltip dynamically changes based on the position prop, and we apply the custom tooltip style using the style attribute. Finally, we export the tooltip component to use in other parts of app. Let's dive into the CSS code that styles our tooltip component. The tooltip wrapper class makes the element inline block to wrap around its children. It's also positioned relative, allowing the tooltip itself to be positioned absolute relative to this wrapper. The cursor pointer ensures the user knows it's interactive. The tooltip box is the actual tooltip that appears. It's positioned absolute relative to the wrapper. The z-index 999 ensures it appears above other elements. White space now wrap ensures the text doesn't wrap and stays in one line. We set opacity 0.9 to make it slightly transparent, and pointer events none prevents users from interacting with the tooltip directly. A transition is added for smooth fade-ins and fade-outs. For the top tooltip, it is positioned directly above the wrapper using bottom 100%. Transform translate x -50% centers it horizontally. We also add some space with margin bottom 8 pixels. Here, the right position tooltip is aligned vertically using top 50% and horizontally at the right using left 100%. The transform translate y -50% vertically centers it. We also add some space with margin left 8 pixels. The tooltip bottom class is similar to the top, but here it's placed below the element using top 100%. Finally, the left aligned tooltip appears on the left side, and it's centered vertically. Now, let's add some visual arrows to the tooltips. This adds a small triangle below the tooltip, giving the effect of an arrow. Border color sets the color of the arrow, while border width creates the triangular shape. This creates a triangle pointing to the correct direction. At the top, we're importing the tooltip component from a separate file. Inside our app component, we return header dynamic tooltip demo. Here's our first dynamic tooltip. We pass several props into the tooltip component, making it fully customizable. The content prop defines what text to show inside the tooltip. Position top makes the tooltip appear above the element. We style it with background color black, color white, and other props like font size, padding, and border radius. Inside the tooltip, we wrap a button that reads, Hover Me. This is the element the user interacts with to display the tooltip. In the second example, we use a different tooltip configuration. The tooltip content is set to another tooltip on the right and will appear on the right of the element, as indicated by position, right. The text is wrapped in a span instead of a button. Welcome to this quick demo of our dynamic tooltip component in React. Here, we have two examples of tooltips. First, we have a button labeled Hover Me. When you hover over this button, a tooltip appears at the top with the message, "This is a tooltip." This tooltip has been customized with a black background, white text, and a slightly rounded border for a smooth look. Next, we have a text element that says, hover over this. When you hover, a tooltip pops up to the right with the message, another tooltip on right. These tooltips are dynamic, fully customizable, and can be applied to any element on the page. It's a simple, yet powerful way to provide additional information or guidance to your users. If you find this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay tuned for upcoming videos.